Hello viewers, Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. Well, here we go. It's Sunday afternoon here in Australia. I've actually been travelling this weekend and I'm very tired, but who could not jump on and do a very quick reading on the release of Trump's tax returns? If you remember rightly, I think it was a reading that I've been saying for a while, I think the media already has his tax returns. Somebody has leaked them and they're waiting for the right time to release them. I felt very strongly there was that investigation. I've read the article in the New York Times which released Trump's tax returns or an analysis of his tax returns. I've read it from word to word, cover to cover, as they say. And there's been some serious forensic investigation of his tax returns in there. So I think that article stands up, it holds water, and we're finally getting a look at why he fought so hard to keep those tax returns secret. In other words, Trump is, as we know, a con. He is not a billionaire, not even a millionaire. And there's some serious investigation of potential tax fraud, tax evasion that will be done, I hope, by authorities. Things seem to me to be unravelling as we speak. His campaign manager, unfortunately, or his former campaign manager, has been taken to hospital. Looks as though he's had some sort of nervous breakdown. What seems to be clear to me is that we know now Trump's true financial situation. It's all been a lie. Now, this makes him seriously vulnerable to leverage from foreign actors. It just opens up a whole can of worms. There is also a couple of things in that New York Times article. Other publications have been writing about it. If you don't subscribe to the New York Times, then just simply read about it. It's all over the news. There is one thing in that article that could potentially cause Trump real problems other than the shame of people finding out the true status of his wealth. And that is that he applied for a approximately $72 million loan. And it doesn't look like he's, under the Obama era, it doesn't look like he's entitled to that. So there's just one thing that we've got unravelling there. Sure, his supporters will say he's a clever businessman because he didn't pay any tax. But that's not the point, really, of releasing the tax returns. The point is what we see are several incidences of potential investigation for tax fraud, tax evasion, and other things. And of course, there is a section of that story that talks about him paying his children as consultants, particularly Ivanka Trump. So potentially they are now vulnerable to some sort of prosecution as well. So it's a real can of worms for him. I don't see how he can recover from this. I really don't. And it goes without saying that someone like Donald Trump, now that he's being unmasked for the lies that he's been telling and the potential incidences of tax fraud, tax evasion, should not be nominating a Supreme Court justice. The Republicans have been largely silent now. So we're going to, on his tax returns, so we'll see. There's so much happening. All right. I can smile, and I don't often say it, but I did say, I think about a week ago, I think the media has his tax returns because it jumped out at me. Also want to make a point about tarot reading. Each individual reader will read tarot differently. And much of tarot reading depends on the clairvoyance or the psychic, I don't know what you'll call it, abilities, I guess, of the reader. So you can see things in cards that other readers may not. So, all right, that's why I don't like to read on other readers' readings. All right, let's get started now. I just wanted to make that point about the intuition, the clairvoyance of the reader also plays a huge part in an interpretation of a tarot spread. I'm using my Low Scarabeo Classic Tarot. I'll put it in the drop down box underneath this video for anyone who is looking at my decks, and I'm also using the Cosmic Tarot, which of course I will also put in that drop down box. All right, so let's have a look. Trump's tax returns have been outed, finally outed. Paid no income tax, I think 10 out of the last 15 years. The last couple of years he's been paying, I think the year he took office, things are dropping out. And Justice is on the bottom of the pack. He paid $750. Oh, I'd be prosecuted if that was me. All right, let's keep going. Tax returns. Trump's tax returns have been outed. What happens now? I'm just going to throw on that. What happens now? Trump's tax returns have been outed. What happens now? So we've got some smoke screens here. We've got, peddling this illusion. Straight away he said fake news, fake news. Well, it's beholden now on the authorities to investigate this person. What happens now? So I'm getting a real draw to Cy Vance. It becomes even more imperative. Of course, as you know, the Federal Appeals Court basically laughed Trump's defence out of court. It becomes more imperative now that Cy Vance continues his investigation. It had legs before. It just got a whole other set of legs. Has Cy Vance got enough now to prosecute him? Depends who leaked those tax returns and where, what if the documents are going to, be holed up. Will Cy Vance need the subpoena? But that's where I got to pull to. All right, what happens now with Trump? What happens now with Trump? I just feel it's game over for him. If it wasn't over before, it's just another nail in his coffin. What happens with Trump now? His tax returns have been outed. What happens now? It's quite, I get the pull that it's quite serious for him. He will not be able to do anything about this. And this is Letitia James as well from the New York Attorney General. Pelosi in the House. This could be exactly what Pelosi needs. Remember, she kept coming up in my last reading to prosecute, or not to prosecute him, but is this a second impeachment? Can a president with his conflicts, who potentially has, broken the law, can he stay there? Will they impeach him for crimes or for potential crimes that he's committed while in office? There's all sorts of possibilities running through my mind now. It really is popcorn time. All right, let's see what the cards are going to tell me. What happens now? Trump's tax returns have been outed. Show me, Spirit. What happens now? All right. So, the signifier card, of course, is the Five of Coins. Money loss, being left out in the cold. This is the poverty card. So we can see that we now know the true extent of his financial situation. He is not a billionaire. He is not a millionaire. He owes something like over $400 million in personal income tax as well, which makes him, again, very vulnerable to overseas leverage. So we have here, the Three of Wands, waiting for the ship to come in. But this is his foreign policy. This is the signifier cards. Very, very serious questions are now going to be asked about who Trump is in debt to. I'm going to Deutsche Bank. This is really what we've been waiting for. This is what we thought Mueller would get, and Mueller got stymied by the acting Attorney General at the time. But these two cards seem to say that this is unraveling right now. All right, let's keep going. Who is in debt to? The Six of Coins kept coming up as well in my, I don't know if it was my last reading or the reading before, but as soon as I saw that, I kept saying, I keep getting a draw to his tax returns. It's not just tax returns now, it is the bank loans, which I understand those bank documents, Deutsche Bank documents. And of course, timing on all of this, we've got all the world banks, the major banks across the world being outed for money laundering, dirty, allowing trillions of dollars of dirty money to go through their system. Deutsche Bank, somebody has to be held accountable. That's the foundation of the reading. Who he is in debt to is now going to be pursued. In the past, we've got the Sun card, full illumination and happiness. So, yeah, there are very important decisions to make. This is the Two of Swords. That's in the sky. Heavy forces and decisions to make. I have to ask, what are Republicans going to do? Because is this a bridge too far? Now, we have strength and endurance. Now, this is in the immediate future. There could be a decision made to push ahead with the kind of rhetoric that we've become used to. Fake news, it's all a hoax. He could probably try that, but this indicates that this just puts more pressure on to hold him and hold the Republicans accountable. Yeah, it seems to me in the here and now, it's what money has come through to him in his presidency. So this is where, again, who he's in debt to, but how he's made money since he's been in office. Because we know that the Five of Pentacles is the true state of his financials. Let's see what the atmosphere around. Okay, so we've got the Knight of Cups, an offer. I'm also getting a draw here. I kept saying that I think his campaign, there are all sorts of issues here, paying for legal representation, and then, which has come out of campaign funds. I don't think the Republicans understand the true extent of what has been skimmed off from the campaign. So I think unfortunately, I don't want to read on Brad Pascal. We'll leave the man who's very mentally unwell, leave him with the space and the privacy. But I have to say, there will be now more serious questions raised around for Trump and the Trump family and the Trump properties about how campaign funds were used. He's probably going to try and dig in. Trump is probably going to try and dig in because he's hoping that the Republicans will cover for him. This is the Three of Cups. But look, in actual fact, this is Trump, the Nine of Wands. So he doesn't, he's not got a lot to stand on. He's battle weary. I don't think he can recover from this. The Eight of Cups. One possible scenario. Now, remember when I present a so-called prediction, we have a number of things that might play out, a number of scenarios. In this scenario, Trump is weighing up. Yeah. He's weighing up whether he should walk away, whether he should just resign, take the losses and resign. This could also be for the Republicans. Are they going to go to an election with potentially a tax cheat as the president who is looking down the barrel of perhaps being charged with tax fraud, tax evasion? So Vance has already said, this is what we're investigating him for. I've got the Hangman, something being stalled. So I do feel at this time, I'll just bring the laptop down. This is what's being considered. Trump is actually considering leaving, but the Republicans are wondering, can we keep supporting this man? So it's kind of stalled at the moment. Let's see where it might go. The Lovers at the base of the pack. It is, again, Trump's relationships, but it is my card for Trump when he has this kind of support from those around him. We've got the winning here, the Six of Wands, and we've got the luxury, the Nine of Pentacles, the luxury, skimming things off the surface. We now have, many readers saw some potential anomalies with the border wall. We now find out that $2 billion has been handed to one company. There are serious questions about what could potentially have been skimmed off the top. We've got the Seven of Swords. Trump's lies, Trump's deceit is coming up and hitting him in the face. Now, I want to see what, perhaps draw some clarifiers on these cards here. As I said, it appears that he's weighing up whether he might leave and escape all of this now, further scrutiny, get out while the going is good. But it's also those who are supporting him are now weighing up whether they should continue to support him. So is Trump thinking of leaving? Is Trump thinking of leaving? The Star, at this point in time, we can all hope. And we've got the Six of Cups going back to the past. He's certainly, and the Strength card. So this indicates a desire. I'm picking up on the desire that Trump has to return to the good old days, the days when, he was living the life of a liar and getting away with it. He's not doing that anymore. All right, so let's. It's a possibility that he's thinking of resigning. The other thing that basically his lies have caught up with him is what this reading is saying, and there's going to be consequences for that. The fact that Queen of Swords has popped up indicates a couple of possibilities. It could be Letitia James might move forward very strongly now and start putting the children through the hoops. Eric Trump has to attend an interview with Letitia James. She's now got all this evidence now before her from the New York Times story. It's conceivable that the children might even be charged with something. So maybe we'll ask that. No, first stop. I'm overexcited. Let's just ask, what is Pelosi and her team going to do with this information? Are they going to do anything in the Congress so close to the election? Yes, they are, I feel. What is Pelosi? Show me what is Pelosi going to do? The Democratic Party and Pelosi strategizing at the moment. What are they going to do? Tip of the iceberg is what I'm seeing. There's so much more to this. It's like we only get a glimpse of his tax returns, but there's a whole iceberg down below there. What is Pelosi and her team going to do about these Trump's tax returns? What is Pelosi and the Democratic Party going to do about Trump's tax returns? We have the lies and deceit card. They're going to hold him to potentially some lies. And his secrets are being unmasked. So we see here the signifier cards are his secrets, his lying are being outed. All right, so we get we get him again. This is definitely his card, the Nine of Wands, battle weary, wounded in battle. How much, how can he recover from this? In the past, we have the Queen of Wands. Now, that's interesting because that's a movement. It takes me back to who might have released these tax returns, who had access to them. Michael Cohen, a whistleblower within the IRS. That's what we're looking at. Someone who was extremely motivated to tell this story, to out this. Okay, so we have the Eight of Cups again. This is a potential. Okay, so one of the potentials is he resigns. That's one potential. You saw me shuffling the Six of Pentacles in the immediate future. These are the Deutsche Bank. Is that going to be released? Are we going to get the loan documents released? It's who he is in debt to. Right now we have the Moon card, the shadow side. We're seeing very clearly that shadow side. We said we would, didn't we? Okay, but that's also things coming to the surface, things being buried. Now we have, there's a new moon, so I don't have my access to my astrological information, but there is a new moon in Aries. There's something to do with that date as well, and justice. Okay, justice is in the environment. Oh, let me bring the laptop down. Wow. Wowee. The secrets are coming to the surface. There is huge loss, even if it's not a resignation. I'm reading into this. There is huge loss for Trump. Here he is in the hopes and fears, the King of Pentacles, in the hope and fear position. Wow. Okay, Russia, the Empress. It's also a yes card. She is going to, Pelosi and her team are going to investigate him. We've got this Four of Swords coming up time and time again, indicating Trump's ill health, and two fours, disappointment, ill health. Pelosi and her team may come out and say, because he's so financially compromised, we need to see how he's compromised, or they may have information that we are not yet privy to. She's going to do something to stop the threat. There's our Hanged Man. There is our Nine of Pentacles. The luxury could even be pointing to Ivanka. It's showing me with this Three of Cups and this Three of Swords that Trump may not be supported as much as what he thinks he will be. All right, so it appears to me that Pelosi is going to Pelosi and her team they cannot leave this information alone. I think they're going to at least announce some kind of investigation into how Trump has been compromised by Russia. Don't ask me how that's going to work, but it appears to be that could be another possibility, along with the possibility Trump simply might be strong-armed to resign. So let's have a look at what the Republicans are thinking. What is the Republicans? Don't be fooled by Trump standing there and going, fake news, fake news. Don't be fooled by that. He's a desperate man. And before I do the next reading, I just want to shout out to Linda G, who's facing an evacuation order where she is. Let's all spend a little moment sending her that beautiful protective energy in her time of need. Okay, now Linda G and myself, we get on week after week and we say things aren't going well for him. And sometimes we have to say that again and again and again. Don't be fooled by the bluster. All right, let's have a look. What are the Republicans going to do? They've been very, very quiet on this. Would you say anything publicly at the moment in his defence? No. But they will be getting their political lines together, coordinating that and coming out with it's fake news. These documents don't exist. They're fake. This is the Democratic Party's desperate bid to yada yada. Okay, but the New York Times would not have proceeded if they did not have absolute documentary evidence of those tax returns, No way would they have run with that story unless they actually had the tax returns. All right, or a copy of them. All right, let's see. What are the Republicans going to do? What are the Republicans? It's just a nightmare scenario for them. And karma really doesn't have a way of catching up. What are the Republicans going to do? Okay, wait. They're going to wait. Let's have a look what they're waiting for. So the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. So the Two of Rods is playing the waiting game. How bad will it get? So that's their strategy right now. How bad will it get? How much has national security been compromised? Who has proof? Will we have a raft of whistleblowers now coming forward? What's happening in those state-based investigations that in New York that we can't control? Okay, so the foundation of the reading is keeping secrets. Do you think that these people knew when he became a candidate? All candidates go through vetting processes. They're going to, I think, keep his secrets, or that is the foundation of the reading. If they keep his secrets, it's not going to go well for him. We've got rank partisanship. I don't want to gild the lily. Don't get triggered by people saying, oh, clever businessmen don't pay tax. Well, do clever business people commit fraud? If they do, is that okay? Okay, so there's just this partisanship, which again, you'll see a lot of. But make no mistake, in the sky there is a potential that they will retreat from this president. Let me bring the laptop down. Okay, in the immediate future, we've got this Knight of Cups again, making an offer here. But this is, look what's in the cup, the snake. Don't be surprised if they come out and decide that they'll support this president. Right at the moment, we have the Hierophant. They want that SCOTUS nomination pushed through. So for them, they're between a rock and a hard place. But they're now worried with this Nine of Swords that it won't go through. In the hopes and fears, what else is going to come out now in relation to Trump being financially compromised? They fear that. The King of Pentacles in the outcome position. Let's see what's clarifying that. Okay, they are realistic. They understand now this is quite, almost insurmountable. But we also have the Nine of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. At the base of the pack, I have to say, they're as bad as what he is. They have a plan with the Ace of Wands, and I think there's going to be support, but I also see that Trump is very worried that they won't support him. So, anything could happen. I'm just going to draw a clarifier on that King of Pentacles, because that's really, if you look at those three cards, we've got retreat, wounded, ill health. We have Trump, the business person, and we've got the Hanged Man being forced to see something another way. This breakthrough card here could mean the Republicans might retreat from him. Let's pull a clarifier on the King of Pentacles. Okay, so it's almost like Trump, the business person, has really bitten them right where it hurts. All right, let's have a look. Show me this King of Pentacles. Show me this King of Pentacles. Will the Republicans still support this King of Pentacles? We have the Prince of Cups, which came out in the immediate future. So yes, in the immediate future they will. We have the Three of Wands coming up again. So foreign policy and the Eight of Cups. Okay, so Trump being compromised by his shadow foreign policy is really where they're going to come undone, and there's more to come on that. So we've got the Three of Cups at the base of the pack, and we have the Seven of Pentacles reviewing their support for this president. tremendous anxiety over his business and how he may have been compromised during his presidency by foreign powers. But there's also a question with this Nine of Pentacles. What else is at the bottom of the pond in relation to money being skimmed off or campaign donations, you name it. But here's our Queen of Swords yet again. I think this points to Pelosi and her team in some way moving to really get to the bottom of just how compromised this president could be in relation to Russia because of his financial situation. Okay, so now I'm just going to change decks to the Cosmic Tarot and see if his Supreme Court pick will go through. Now, readers, very good readers, my friends Linda G, Kirsten from Soul Light Hypnotherapy, other readers, too numerous to name, have picked up that the nomination for some reason won't go as well. We couldn't figure it out what it was. Is this it? Should a president who is being investigated, where there is documentary evidence that could be used against him of tax evasion, tax fraud, potential vulnerability to being blackmailed by foreign powers or doing things for foreign powers, everything going back to his financial situation, should that person be nominating a SCOTUS pick? So will this go through? And imagine for her, Amy Coney Barrett, I didn't look that up before. She's only been a jurist for 7 years, so she hasn't got a long record of judicial decisions. Of course, she clerked for a very right-wing conservative judge, the late, and is it Anthony Scalia? Why is she pushing through with this ambition under these circumstances, being nominated by a president who's been investigated for tax fraud, tax evasion, tax fraud that could be severely compromised? Okay, one of the things you'll hear the Republicans say is there's no evidence in those tax returns of Trump being compromised by Russia. That's because the tax returns won't pick that up. The loan documents will. So what's going to happen with Amy Barrett's nomination? Coney Barrett. I've been travelling. Okay, so what is going to happen with Judge Amy Barrett's nomination? What is going to happen? Will she be confirmed? Will this judge be confirmed? They're going to push it. That's too many cards. The Emperor. Trump still wants to control it. He sees this as his great white hope. What's going to happen? What's going to happen with this nomination? What is going to happen with Amy Barrett's nomination? Will she be confirmed? That there's that Two of Swords there. Three of Swords would indicate no. There's a heartbreak and loss here as a signifier card. The environment around is the past. The past, Trump's past, is in the signifier cards. The foundation of the reading is the Prince of Pentacles. There's only one pentacle here. It's not a strong card, but it's also Trump's financials are coming into play. In the past, we have the Truth, the Ace of Swords emerging in the past. In the sky, we have the Tower. So it's like everything now is going to come under that Tower moment as a result of this New York Times investigation here. The King of Wands. I do feel that the Democratic Party in the Senate and the legal fraternity will come now and say, under these circumstances, the Supreme Court would be compromised. It shouldn't proceed. Justice must be done, and that's in the here and now. But we have the Republicans also, the Three of Cups, supporting this nomination, and they will try and keep going with it despite the revelations. All right. This is why they got the Two of Wands, being patient, weathering the storm, because they want this Supreme Court pick through. The Queen of Cups in the hopes and fears. There is something else coming out about Judge Amy Barrett. There's more to come with that Queen of Cups. Now, the Seven of Swords indicates a deceit here. Lies and deceits are lies, deceit, deception is in the outcome. Is the outcome. It's not a yes card, not with the Tower. And we have the Seven of Wands. They'll spend most of the time now defending things because of the president being compromised. It's possible with the Tower card and the Seven of Swords defending this president's lies and deceit that this nomination will not proceed. However, we do have the Two of Wands, being patient. All of this will reveal itself over the next few weeks. We've got complete and utter downfall, and we have the Eight of Cups. Again, complete loss here, walking away. The King of Pentacles. This is a quick process. Okay, so the Chariot, national security being compromised. We do have another whistleblower or several whistleblowers. It's a possibility that this judge will not be confirmed. But watch the Republicans try and come up with those lines, political lines. It's fake news. It's fake news. They are in the Tower moment over this nomination. I make no bones about that. And there's more to come after these tax returns have been released, and they are fearing it. This nomination will be caught up in all of that, and the question will be asked, and I think you'll get the legal fraternity rising up and saying under no circumstances should this nomination proceed in this current climate, because it's just going to get worse for Donald Trump. And there is that possibility that he will stand down. There is this possibility that something could happen to his health. There is this possibility that the Democratic Party will finally in the Congress say, we are launching some sort of investigation to show just how or to find out just how compromised this president is. There's all of these possibilities. So last cards, please, here. Will Trump win the election? Let's have a look. Will he win the election? Show me. Will he win the election? Can he? Can he win the election? Can Trump win the election? No, he can't. Seven of Swords. We still have the deception here. Decepticon. We still have these lies, deceit. It is the signifier card. But it's crossed here. Okay, so it's crossed with the magnitude of the loss that he faces. Because why? Because he's been living the life of a lie. We have the Wheel of Fortune, things shifting, things changing. In the past, we have the past, going back to the past, going back to a time where you didn't have a broke, fake, sham person as your president. People want to go back to the past. We have the Sun card, full illumination. I make no bones about these cards. That is full illumination in the sky. Full illumination of his lies and deceit. We've got in the immediate future endings and beginnings. This is also a draw to what comes next. Trump's relationship with foreign powers. What's in the sky there? Something coming to an end. I've got endings and beginnings through these major arcanas. That's what's occurring at the moment. In the immediate future, it is the World card, and we have more to come with the Sun card. His lies are going to be exposed. The hopes and the fears, we have justice being done. I love these cards. But we have the Seven of Cups, illusion, delusion. Remember that came out. Watch for that. But we have the Five of Wands. Don't be surprised about the partisanship that will come forward. But we have our Queen of Wands here again, who's been with us all the way through. So there is a real movement here to get rid of this president. We have the Two of Pentacles. And we also have the Seven of Pentacles review. The secrets emerging, and we have Biden coming here at the base of the pack. So let's drill down on this illusions, delusions, and delusions being illusions being exposed. And here's my Queen of Wands here. Okay, so let's draw a clarifier on this Seven of Cups, which happens to be, it's not a yes card, put it that way. The Seven of Cups. Let's have a look. Seven of Cups, Five of Wands, obstacles, challenges, partisanship, and then we have our Queen of Wands, which was my card for the Democrats in the midterms. So let's have a look. Show me this Seven of Cups. Illusions, having to make choices, being deluded. Is this a win for Trump? Can he even win the election? Can Trump win the election? Can Trump win the election? King of Wands. Okay, so this could even be matters that are involving the court and Biden here. Biden coming through again, and the truth emerging around buried. What is buried? Okay, in 2 months also, this card has come up 3 times. It's very important. In 2 months, I feel that Biden gets his win. The truth becomes even more known. And we've got balance here, balance at the base of the pack. The Three of Cups, circles of support, but it's also celebrations. Here's our Eight of Cups, potentially Trump walking away. So I still see him considering his options to maybe resign before we even get there. But this is a loss for him. So it's really unclear whether he'll even be there by the time we get to the elections. All right, that's my reading at this time. I think the 2 really important cards at the moment are massive endings and beginnings for Trump now, endings of cycles, major arcanas, judgment, and inevitable ending for Donald Trump in terms of his presidency. Okay, we've got our King of Cups emerging, and of course those secrets coming to the surface. Justice here, justice appearing in this spread. She's turned up. Lady Justice has turned up a couple of times. The Wheel of Fortune is a karmic card. Lies being exposed. There's a huge karmic shift occurring at the moment. These are very momentous times. I'm going to finish the reading here, but I had to jump on and read. How can I summarize this? There is more whistleblowers. There's more to come. There's something that the Democratic Party are going to do. Cy Vance is in his investigations in a very strong position now. And I see some link coming with Russia or the foreign policy, even stronger than we've already got. I think Pelosi has enough, and her team have enough to say because of the release of these tax returns, we now must mount this investigation of his links to Russia, financial ties with Russia and others. Something's coming. Something further is coming. You thought you saw it all. You haven't. All right. Thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.